Hey guys, welcome back to The Horror with your hostess with the most channel as always. Welcome back. So of course we are going to be finishing up our Halloween franchise marathon review with the dreaded Rob Zombie remakes. First one up, obviously we're going to be talking about the first one, because why would you watch the second one before watching the first one? Whatever. So Rob Zombie's Halloween came out in 2007. I feel like a lot of people were pretty excited about this one coming out and everything. It was kind of like, oh, cool, a horror fan. He's going to be doing this remake right. He fucked it up. He did. He fucked it up. And you guys know I'm not always that keen on remakes. I'm very harsh on them and everything, but where to even begin? So we open up the movie with very young Michael. We see his home life, we see his upbringing and everything. I said it before, I'm pretty sure I've said it before, like, we didn't need a backstory to Michael. We really didn't. I kind of see what he was trying to do and everything, but, like, literally, like, it opens up and typical Rob Zombie movie, white trash family, broken home, just disgusting family. Like, I feel like every time I watch the opening of this movie, I feel like I need to, like, go in the shower and just scrub myself, because I feel dirty, but basically he is just, he's trying to create this backstory of why, trying to explain why Michael is the way he is. It just does not work at all, because honestly, the way he shot it and everything and wrote it, basically, you're just explaining how a serial killer grows up to be a serial killer, basically. Michael basically is a serial killer. We kind of all don't really say it. We don't really say he's a serial killer, but at the end of the day, he is kind of a serial killer, but we didn't need that explanation. That just really takes away from the myth of Michael Myers and everything. It really does not work. But we do see the family and everything. We see the mom, we see the mom's boyfriend, we see the older sister that he kills initially. We see the sister's boyfriend, and then we see a little baby who would eventually grow up to be Laurie Strode and everything. We just really did not need this at all. Like, Michael Myers, like I said, and I'll say it again, did not need a backstory. Really did not need a backstory. I don't know why we got a backstory, but whatever. We see him do, like, all these murders and everything. Okay, whatever. And then, we see a few months later where, he's already been tried. Michael's been tried and everything, and he's in the mental institution. We see him and Loomis. I would have liked to see that aspect of, like, Loomis actually, treating Michael as a patient and everything. But once again, Rob Zombie just messed it up. Like, he ruined it, I feel. He just didn't execute it properly at all. I was gonna say good, but he didn't execute it properly at all. Whatever. God, this movie. And let's talk about Sam Loomis too. Roddy McDowall. I love Roddy McDowall. I think he's, I know he's one of those very beloved horror icons and everything. The movie is actually flooded with a lot of horror icons and everything, which I'll get to, hopefully, if I remember. But, and not even at the fault of Roddy McDowall, because, he was just an actor in this and everything. I think he did a really good performance for the character, but the character of Loomis in this, like, what the fuck? Sam Loomis in this movie is portrayed as such an egomaniacal, selfish, asshole dick. Like, in the original series, that is not how Loomis was. Like, the original series, Loomis was very, I don't want to say cold, but just very kind of, like, standoffish. like, Loomis in the first one, in the originals, I feel like he had a sense of, like, I don't really give a fuck type of attitude, but it was nothing like this. Like, the original Sam Loomis, played by Donald Pleasence, just, like, his whole world, his whole focus was Michael Myers. In Rob Zombie's movies, like I said, he's just a freaking dick. Like, why would you mess up a character like that? Like, why? Like, I just find that so disrespectful to A, John Carpenter, and B, to Donald Pleasence. Like, whatever. And also, too, like, the original Sam Loomis, I feel like, because I know I'll probably talk more about this in the second one, or in Halloween 2, Rob Zombies. But, with, like, the original Loomis, as much as he is, like I said, he seems a little cold and stuff, at least him, at the end of the day, and you can kind of feel this as a character and everything, watching this character, is that he at least had respect for the victims. Like, he didn't turn around like the Roddy McDowall portrayal of Sam Loomis, turn around and try and, like, cash in on the deaths of all these families and everything, and all these victims and everything. Like, he just freaking didn't care. He was in it for himself. From the start, was totally in this for himself, and it just totally disrespectful, in my opinion, like I said, to John Carpenter and to the late, great Donald Pleasence. I'm just saying, but whatever. God, sorry, this is just, this movie, God. But yeah, I mean, God. So yeah, so sorry, I'm, like, I just don't even want to think about this movie at all. So, like I said, there was, quite a few, like, I don't want to say cameos, but people in this, movie that are very synonymous with horror movies. We have Danielle Harris in this movie. We have Brad Dourif, Roddy McDowall, as I've already mentioned, and Danny Trejo, in this movie. But also, for those of you who may or may not know this, but for some reason, I actually punished myself by watching some of the extras, or I should say deleted scenes, from this. There's actually a couple more cameos. First, in which we have Clint Howard, brother of Ron Howard and everything. He is one of the people who works at the psych ward and everything, kind of like on the review panel and everything. He had a couple of deleted scenes. Another deleted scene was at, like, the adoption agency or something, where Loomis is trying to, like, find out what happened to his little sister and everything. The secretary, or the lady at the desk, played by Adrienne Barbeau, another, person who is just flooded in horror, very well respected, and actually also was, obviously in a couple of John Carpenter films, and actually at one point married to John Carpenter. So, but just little things like that. Like, this movie was flooded with so many people that, it's like you look back at this movie and I'm like, why would you be a part of this? Like, so many great people that could have made this movie just so great and everything. A horror fans' wet dream, basically, and none of them were utilized correctly. They're all, like, definitely not the greatest for a lot of these people. Danielle Harris, I have to admit, especially in the second one, had some, like, good classic lines and everything. I mean, I always kind of get a chuckle out of some of her lines and everything. I'll give her credit for that, but it's still just like, oh, whatever. I mean, this movie just, I don't think we needed this. I mean, honestly, I don't think we needed a lot of these remakes and everything, but this was at a time where remakes were just so, let's crank them out, but and it's interestingly enough, like, when this movie first came out, I actually kind of liked this, but then it's like the more I watched it, the angrier I got, and I'm just like, what a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. It just so many things wrong with this. So many things that like were done in this movie that didn't need to be done. Um, I mean, like I said earlier in the video, I know I'm very, very hard on remakes and everything. Um, a lot of times I do, even if I don't like a remake or anything, I do kind of agree a lot of times, like, yeah, some of these movies, like Nightmare on Elm Street or the Friday 13th remake, like, yeah, they did try to, like, do a little something different, bring something new to the table, something new to the franchise, even though it may not have worked for me. But like, God, it sucked. Like, there's so many things that he shot and showed that it's like, why did we need the scene? Like, just whatever, dude. Just whatever. God damn, this whole movie, dude. No, but I mean, this one, and I know there's been so many things, kind of like with, like, the original, there's so many things that have already been said about it. It's like, what else can be said? Kind of same thing with this. It's like, there's so many things that people have already said about this movie that it's like, a very long and drawn out, I feel like it's 2 hours long, and it bites. It really does. It bites. It sucks I was gonna say as a sequel, as a remake. It just, but whatever. I mean, that's pretty much all I got for this remake. I mean, I'm just so, like, between Resurrection, this, and Rob Zombie's number 2, it just, oh my god, like, I'm so done with these movies. But anyway, guys, coming up next will be the Halloween 2 remake. So till then, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.